Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the FV207. It's the Tier 8 British SPG. It's on the south spawn of Malinovka, and this one is under the command of Angelina75. I don't believe she actually told Talon that she got this Arty. She's had it some time, and well, she's just getting into the swing of things with it. It's an Arty based on the Conqueror A45. It's basically a Conqueror in reverse because you've got the engine up front, and that means you've got a crew compartment at the rear and a casement, and you can have a variety of guns starting with a 105mm, a 140mm and a 152mm, which is the 6-inch. The 140 is basically the same as a 5.5-inch on the Crusader. She's dialing in on a T69, but he's moving rather rapidly along the water. I think he's going to drown. Yes, I think he's ended his game prematurely, and he's going to drown. And he has drowned. But in the meantime, we've got a Lynx making his way across the battlefield. Angelina tries to get an intercept shot on him, but he's just moving too quickly at the moment. Now she's using the 6-inch gun, 152.4mm is the caliber. It's capable of 650 alpha and penetrating 38mm of armor. And as always, Angelina's not carrying any of the special ammo, just standard HE rounds with stun, because of course stun maximizes your chances of getting an ace tanker or getting a medal. She's was aiming at a Scorpion, fired a round in, and well, we don't know if that hit, but it was near enough. Okay, there are some enemy tanks going up the hill. The one good thing about Malinovka, although some people think of it as Kampanovka, is the fact is there's always plenty of heavy tanks trying to make their way up the hill, which means there's plenty of targets for you to aim at to maximise your damage. She's dialing in, rounds out, looks good, stuns the Bisonte. Now she's not changing position much, but she doesn't need to, just needs the occasional change in position. She's dialing in on the Scorpion. Reload time for this Arty is 28.76 seconds, and Angelina's got it down to 22.84. Rounds out on Scorpion. She splashes him for 28, and he cures the stun by using his first aid kit straight away. But the Bisonte's gone up near the top of the hill. In fact, these two are making really great targets, and there's a lurver behind them as well. In the meantime, she's got a sighting on the Scorpion G. She's dialing in as quickly as she can. She's ready. Rounds out. Oh, she got a direct hit on the Scorpion. And that guy's got very thin armor, so she might have penetrated him because she's got 38mm of pen. And she did pen him. She more than likely would have got a high roll, or at least a fairly big hit on him for 650 or thereabouts. Trying to get the Wizzy 111-1 GFT. Well, he hit the rock, I'm afraid, instead. Okay, 3 heavy tanks together now, so she has got a really good chance to maximize damage on these guys. If she aims it for the right one, she can stun 2 at the same time, and then she'll get loads of stun assist. She's loaded. Rounds out. Looks good. It is. 270 hit points. She stuns all 3 of them, and that's going to help our teammates. I expect to see lots of stun assist off them. Oh yes, she's getting it already. 319, 577. Just rack it up, baby. And one of the enemies down. The Bisonte's gone. Okay, going for the lurver. The Chrysler's gone. She aiming for the lurver. She got a direct hit, and he was wiped out. Oh yes, she's picking up the damage and the assist. Well, there's a T105 there, but was it T103? 103. But she's now trying to get this TS5. She's almost loaded. Rounds out straight away. Oh, it hit the vehicle, stunned him, but it didn't give us any damage at all. So it must have hit the heavy armor on the front of the TS5. but he is stunned, and she's picking up loads of stun assists. Look at that, 1,500 stun assists off just one tank. That's all going to count. She's up to 2.5k of stun assist already. And of course, remember, she's got that blind hit on the Scorpion. And another direct hit, this time on the T103 for 216. Loads of stun assists coming in off him as well. He's being treated like a pincushion. Everyone's firing at him. And he's gone, so that's another 304 stun assists. She's now over 3,000 stun assists. Now, we know there's an enemy tank in this corner. It's Carnarvon Action 10. In fact, he's the last enemy tank in the game. And there he is. Ram's out. This could be a stun hit. It is. Well, it's an actual hit. 180. He is stunned. Our teammates are going in to get the kill. And she picks up all of the rest of that as stun assist. Brilliant game. Well, that was a brilliant end to the game, because that one was the first ace tanker for Angelina75 in the FV207. You can tell it's the first ace tanker. She got the scrolls underneath, and you only get that the first time. But this means that she's won the competition for the weekend lie-in outright, and that means Talon1958 has to get up at the weekend and look after their little boy Remy as he runs around the house, and Angelina gets to sleep in and enjoy her Sunday morning. What an excellent game that was. A 15-1 victory against the enemy, and in no small part helped by Angelina getting some great hits on the enemy. Let's have a look at the number of bruiser hits she got. She got 6 in that one, and her win rate wasn't that high, 1633, but she did get some very nice shots and loads of stun assists, masses of it. If we look at that blind shot on the Scorpion G, she fired in 679 hit points. So it was a high roll, and it was a penetrating shot as well. That was the one she fired in. She definitely hit him, but we didn't know how much damage he did at the time. Well, it was a big one. It was definitely a big one. Let's have a look at team score and see where Angelina was. Well, the highest damage in the game was actually done by the ISU152 on her team with 3,327. The second highest damage was the Bisonte C45 on the enemy team with 1,901. And the third highest damage was the Progetto 46, who managed 1,633. Angelina wasn't that far behind him, because she managed to get 1,540 in that game, and she beat all but 2 of the enemy team, or all but 1 rather of the enemy team. She didn't beat the Bisonte, but she beat everyone else for when it came to damage. When it came to kills, I'm afraid she didn't get any at all. No, she was way down the table here with none. But the highest scorers were the ISU152, the AMBT, and the EBR75FL10, who all managed 2 kills apiece. And then everyone else, I've got 1 kill or nothing. And when it came to base XP, it's Angelina's in second place, because the LT432, who picked up a patrol duty, got 1,166. Angelina got 1,104, so she wasn't that far behind him. And then after that, it was the EBR75FL10 with 1,029. They were earning their ones from spotting assist. I think if we see that, if it comes up, there we go, it has come up. 5,139 spotting assists for the LT432. The EBR managed 2,899 spotting assists out of that game, and that's how they managed to get high base XPs. But let's have a look and see how Angelina got her high base XP. She fired 11 rounds. She got 6 direct hits on the enemy and 1 pen. That was the Scorpion, the blind shot that went in there. She dialed it in perfectly. She fired the round and the target disappeared before she could see what the hit did, but she knew she hit him. 1,540 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. 9 splashes on the enemy as well. Missed that out. 5 enemy vehicles were damaged. None were killed, so she just missed out on a Confederate by 1 tank. And she got 4,031 hit points of stun assist off 11 stuns, and that's how she got the ace tanker. A massive amount. She hit the right tanks in the right order, stunned them, and then let our teammates turn them into civs, which meant that obviously she collected all of the rest of stun assist, and that boosted her up to an ace tanker. That's why stun is so important in the game. 58,269 credits for the game, 50,000 for completing a mission, 108,269 credits altogether, and after ammunition resupply, Angelina took away 94,849 credits profit. 1,656 XP times 4 for the first victory, 6,624 experience points altogether. It won't be long before Angelina's getting aces all the time in this Arty, because she's certainly got a talent for it. She hit everything in the right order, and with the 6-inch gun, the FV207 is very effective indeed. In fact, it's the best gun for this Arty by far. You just have to work your way through the stock gun and then the second gun, the 5.5, as quickly as you can in order to get to that 6-incher, because the 6-incher is the one that works. Okay, let's have a look at the armor profile for this Arty. Well, it's basically a Conqueror in reverse, with the engine being in this area here. You can see the armor on the front of the vehicle. Impacted armor is only 38.1, but it's giving you an effective armor of 39 because it's slab-sided, so to speak, so any shell that hits it's not going to be bounced at all. And the engine deck is fairly thin as well, 17mm thick, so not likely to get have any trouble putting a shell through that. The lower plate is only 20mm, but it's actually giving you effective of 38, mainly because it's angled. You've got a casement which is basically to stop shell splinters, but it's actually effective armor 51mm, and that's what you're getting because it's slab-sided. And the sides of the vehicle, well, I suppose the shells would be blocked from going through the tracks, but the rear of the vehicle is very thin as well. Well, 51mm with 53, so the casement is not so weak compared to the front and the engine area, but it's still a very weakly armoured tank. It's nothing like the Conqueror in terms of armour, because that really is a tough tank, a tough heavy tank. If we look at the modules, we can see that the engine is up front with the transmission right in front of that. The driver is actually in the compartment with the rest of the crew at the back, not at the front of the vehicle. Okay, so there's the engine on the engine deck, as you'd expect. The two fuel tanks are either side of it at the rear, and we can see that right next door to the driver, we've got the gunner, and just there, whoops, that's the wrong one, and just behind that gunner we've got another gunner. So one's obviously looking at traverse, the other one's looking at elevation. We've got the TC over on the left hand side as you're looking at it, and behind him we've got two loaders, one which is actually standing next door to the ammo racks and one that's actually next to the breech. The ammo racks, as you can see, right at the rear of the vehicle, so if you want to get an ammo rack on this one, you have to aim for right at the very back, try and punch a hole through the area just above the tracks, and that should be able to get the ammo rack fairly easily. I think it's fairly difficult to get the engine unless you aim directly through the front of the vehicle. That should be fairly easy. The fuel tanks are fairly well protected actually in this one, but yes, the ammo racks at the back of the vehicle. And the crew are mostly around the actual gun itself, except for that one loader sitting at the back. And you can probably punch a hole through that 51mm and get him. So that's where the modules are on the FV207. So congratulations there to Angelina75, because with this game, she's got a weekend lie-in after 2 weeks of Talon getting the lie-in. She's actually getting it this time round, and I'm sure a lot of you are actually enjoying this competition, because somebody actually said that they started getting the same Arty that Angelina and Talon got, because obviously they were seeing how well they were doing on those particular Arty and how much fun they were having, so they bought the same Arty and they're practicing as well. So yes, I think some of you do enjoy this little contest, because it's a little bit of gambling at the weekend to see who's actually going to get the lie-in, and obviously you're rooting for your for the winner, and yes, I suppose there might be a little bit of gambling going on in the background. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this replay, and if you did, please give it a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And please do remember that we're giving all the money from this channel to the Red Cross Ukraine refugee appeal to help the poor refugees coming out of that war. So do watch as many of our videos as you can, because that means we can send much more money from Google all the way over to the Red Cross to help the refugees. Thanks for watching.